On the 14th of November 2005, just 6 days after I was called to the Nigerian bar and 2 days after my elder brother's wedding, I was driving in the Zone 1 area of Abuja with my friends Chisom Mbono Ezoke and Ofem, when an unmarked car drove ahead of us and blocked my car off. Then a man in plain clothes came out of the car with a gun and pointed it at us. Of course, my instincts kicked in, and I thought he was an armed robber, so I kind of found a way to maneuver and speed off. He jumped in his car and chased after us. I wasn't sure where I was going, but I just kept driving. And at some point, we found ourselves on the Olusegun Obasanjo Way when we noticed he had chased us into an ambush laid by policemen. Well, at least there was a police truck parked right beside what looked like 6 to 10 men holding guns and blocking the road. And then in what is still the most chilling moment of my entire life, we watched the men raise their guns at us and open fire. We found out later that there had been several reported robbery cases in the area at the time, and our dead bodies would have been paraded as the guilty armed robbers. Now, 15 years later, on the 3rd of October 2020, a young man, Joshua Ambrose, was allegedly thrown out of a moving car by members of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad in Ughelli in Delta State, and that has sparked off the current End Sars protests. Thankfully, none of us in the car that night in Abuja in 2005 died, even though Ofem was hit by a bullet on his shoulder, and he still carries the scars to this day. He has gone on to do so many things, including being the MD of Smart City Lagos. Chisom, who was also in the car, is now a leading presenter on SuperSport. But many other Nigerians haven't been as lucky as us to stay alive today and fulfill their dreams. Kolade Johnson was killed by the police. Anita Akapsin was killed. Chijioke Iloanya was killed. Musab Samani was killed. Tina Ezekwe was killed. And thousands more. So when Nigerians talk about End SARS, it's not just a hashtag on Twitter. It has been our reality for far too long. Yes, the government has disbanded the police unit, but even after that, more Nigerians have been killed as peaceful protests continue across the country. Jimo Ishiak, Ikechukwu Iloamozo, and many more have died even as government has given the police orders to stand down. As recently as yesterday, more lives were lost in Osogbo. This is not a political movement. It's literally Nigerians telling the government to give them a chance to just be alive. It's the most fundamental human right, and everyone has earned that right. So the government must be seen to be acting and not just speaking, because as long as the words of those in authority don't match what Nigerians see on the streets, trust will continue to slip away. And hopefully, this does not continue to be the case for much longer.